Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspiration Report presented by Brainstorm in a Box. Sean and I will be starting in just a few moments, so be sure to grab yourself a nice morning beverage, find a nice comfy spot, and get ready to be inspired. All right, once again, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be, and welcome to the Inspiration Report. Some inspiration in a box to help you see outside of yours. We are super happy to have you here, and just super stoked. Sean Brown, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host.
Hey,
what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
I am happy to be here, pal.
Yeah, tell me about it. Did you have a good holiday weekend?
Holiday weekend was good. You know what? I like fireworks just as much as the next person. But, after 10 p.m., 11 p.m., I don't like fireworks.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on, people.
Yeah, hey, it looks like we've got some first-timers here. Hello, Caitlin. Caitlin from Ag America, my good buddy and former Disney ambassador. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Looks like Cheryl is here. What's up, Cheryl? I see Janice out there. I see Candy. What's up, Candy? Thank you so much for being here. It should be a really fun morning. We really appreciate you guys being here. I see Liz out there. I see Juliet out there. So thank you all for being here. Sean, any quick previews before we get rolling? Anything that's really exciting you this morning?
Well, I'm super excited about the photo journalism story about the girl who graduated from, I think it was UC San Diego, but she did her college graduation photos in the vegetable fields.
Oh, that's so cool. Worked. Yes, I saw that. Super, and number one, we're super creative, but what a great way to tribute her parents. I love it. I can't wait to showcase that. Before we get started, you all, we're going to just go back to the presentation really quick here. We got some fancy new transitions. That's for you, Mark. Hope you enjoy those. I see Mark out there. Also see Lauren. What's up, Lauren? So anyway, we are the modern day version of Wayne and Garth. We are broadcasting from our basement, basically. I'm in my studio in beautiful Leamington, Ontario, the tomato capital of Canada. Sean, of course, in the heart of Central Florida. So thank you so much for being here. But again, just know that we're amateurs, right? We're not broadcasters by any means. We just like to inspire people because we are innovation catalysts. And we love to make sure that you guys are properly inspired. Of course, the rules are the same as you would find at our Brainstorm. Of course, merely guidelines. We want you to stay positive and open-minded in the chat. Make sure you share the air and make sure everybody has a chance to chat there. Definitely want you to build and yes and on the things that we're talking about. If you've had experience with one of the items that we're showcasing, please let us know in the chat. We want to hear about it. And then also add your yes ands in your builds. And we definitely want you to pay this forward. If you know somebody who can be inspired by any of the content we have today, we want you to send it to inspire people. Again, the purpose and the reason we do this is so you can get a little bit of fresh thinking to make those connections. And we want to have a little bit of fun. You ready to have a little bit of fun, Sean?
Ready, buddy, but hey,
excellent.
I got to tell you, Lee, I'm going to make it a mandate that when you do the rules, you have got to do the pirate voice, man.
Well, maybe on September 19th, what do you call it, Pirate Day? I will definitely do this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the technical glitches?
Basement.
By all means. Let me do another one of these cool stingers there. There we go.
There we go. So just hang in there with us. If, by all means, if Lee gets tired of me talking and puts me on mute again, please put it in the chat. He'll take me off mute.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sean. I have to, whenever we play those videos, I have to actually mute you so I don't have the double audio going. So forgive me, guys. I don't really mean to silence Sean. I think he's a great guy, and I don't want to shut him up by any means. So help us out and let us know if I made that error. So I'm sorry, I did do that to you last couple times, so I apologize.
That's all right. I actually wasn't sure if my wife was texting you and say, look, just put him on mute.
Yeah.
He's better that way.
I got to hear him all the time anyway. All right, you ready to dive in, bud?
Let's go, buddy.
Good. All right, first up, let's see where we are. Get a vaccine and get a scholarship. I love this one. And, in a time where the more of us that gets vaccines, the more we can actually go out and be out and not wear masks and all that kind of stuff. Incentives like this are really great. This is Colorado added a new prize to their state vaccination incentive. 25 randomly selected students who are vaccinated will be awarded a $50,000 college college scholarships to the post-secondary institution of their choice. To be eligible, students must be Colorado residents and be in the ages of 12 to 17 and receive at least one dose of the vaccine. Eligible students will automatically be enrolled in the scholarship drawings, just like the lottery. There's actually a lottery for vaccinated adults in the state who are eligible to win 5 $1 million cash prizes. Now, that's really putting your money where your mouth is, right, Sean?
Or where your arm is.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, let's get some what do you call it? Some incentives out there. So good stuff. Anything else you would add to this one?
This is just I know we talked about it last month too. This ongoing trend of business community support for vaccination, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think in our lifetime we've ever really come across something like this. Maybe back in the 80s with HIV, right? And Bono got involved, and there was the whole Red campaign, which still exists. But I just personally find it interesting that the level of organizations and offerings that are proactively trying to promote people to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine call me. My buddy Jeffrey called me the other night, and he was just nervous. He was in a hotel in downtown, and he was looking down upon Orange Avenue in downtown. And he said, "You wouldn't even know that there's a pandemic happening because everybody was just not worried about it before. But we don't know who's vaccinated and who's not. So let's get vaccinated, right? We're all going to go out and party like that." All right, tell us about this one, Sean. It's just super inspiring.
Yeah, so this and we've got 3 or 4 photos to show. We wanted to tease it a little bit, but I saw the story on NPR, and it just, for no reason except I just thought it is an amazing story. The photography is amazing, and so this really great young woman out of California, her parents had immigrated, and for decades, regardless of their education, they have been farm workers, field workers, pickers. And they worked hard, and they put her and helped to put their daughter through college. And so when she graduated recently from University of California, San Diego, she would still actually go and work back in the fields in the summers. She thought that, she said, the whole reason I went back to the fields with my parents is because I wouldn't have the degree and the diploma if it wasn't for them. They sacrificed their backs, their sweat, their early mornings, late afternoons, working cold winters, hot summers, just to give me and my sisters an education. And
super
the
cool.
Pictures speak volumes, right? Of
and they're really artfully done.
Yeah, of course she's beautiful person too, right? It's just I just thought it was stunning pictures and an unbelievable story.
Yeah, really, really great. I'm just touched just from the pride thing. I've always thought that attributing your parents is always something we all should do, because parents work really hard to make sure you get where you need to go. So any child her age that recognizes that is pretty awesome, because at that age it's hard to think about anybody but yourself. So it's
right.
it's nice to see it, right?
I also think too, Lee, of course you and I are not experts on social policy or psychology or anything like that, right? But every now and then we all seem to come across these stories which is just a little poke in the arm of a reminder of, hey, there are things that we all have, and we're lucky or we're blessed, or however you want to look at it, but we shouldn't take everything for granted. So,
Agreed. Agreed. I'm
anyway,
not crying, you're crying.
Great story.
Well, it's funny, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and, for you newbies, one of the things that we normally do is go to the chat where you will happily find Jose Gutierrez. But Jose is actually, he's now out getting his first vaccination so he can travel to Chile in the next month. So, Jose, good for you in getting your vaccination. But I will be filling in for Jose. So, as far as the chat is concerned, this has got some good stuff. Candy, I will always try to bring you to tears. Sorry about that. I actually used to do the same thing to Victoria when Victoria and I used to present. I would always put something in there because Victoria would always cry at whatever emotional thing I showed. So sorry, Candy. It's a thing. But Caitlin, welcome. We go to the chat, and so anytime you have something to add, we'll come back to this page and make sure you all are recognized. And that also that I can show you my cool stinger transitions, which I just added. Make me look like I actually know what I'm doing, right?
Hang in there, everybody. Lee's going to be playing with this all.
I know. Sorry. Just wait to come to the DJ feed tonight because I'm on fire. I'm going to add like 6 or 7 of them. Okay, one of the best people that send us input is my good buddy Barry Jacobson, and Barry is just an amazing former Disney executive, and he's got a keen eye for some really great content. So Barry sent us this stuff, the ending, the vending of crappy vending. So, and this seems inevitable. And Sean, you know what this reminds me of? You know, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Of course, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You guys all know that, and a Marvel fan. But I'm all about Captain Jean-Luc Picard and ordering tea Earl Grey hot in the replicators. And this is like getting us closer to the Star Trek replicators. So this is called Blended. It's a robotic food automatic solution. It's signed an agreement with Jamba, allowing companies to deploy kiosks across the country. Their autonomous robotic smoothie kiosk is the first product in a line of future platforms that may include foods such as soups, bowls, salads, and more. It's democratizing the accessibility of fresh food, and it's more of a robot food OS. The AI engine continuously learns and adapts to consumer preferences to make the perfect recipe every time. And it has 10 patents granted or is in process in software-based food preparation and cloud-driven distribution management. So, man, it's like the future of quick service food, right?
It's unbelievable because the thing that keeps blowing me away, right? We keep talking about AI, right?
Yeah.
I barely, know the details of it, except I know where I keep seeing it and supposedly what the impact is of it. But going back to that whole thing of customization, right? We're not going to have to choose to customize things that we engage with. They're going to customize just automatically because it starts to learn who we are and what we like. Right?
I mean, a little bit creepy because of the whole privacy thing, I mean, those ads that I get through Gmail are getting seriously close to exactly what I need all the time. So, but I mean, it's better than getting ads things that I don't want, but they are getting really, really, really, really close. And don't tell me they're not listening to my phone conversations because I'll have a conversation. I get that ad like an hour later,
After we do this show, I feel like my Alexa is like 110 degrees just from listening to everything we talk about.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to just go back to the chat really quick and see what we have. Oh, it looks like Carlos is with us. What's up, Carlos? Yeah, it's Skynet. It's really the next thing coming to us. And Candy, I love my iRobot too. I named him Hoover, and he is my buddy. That's awesome. We have one. Ours is DJ Roomba, and then my daughter's is called Dustin Bieber. So yeah, we name our AI, and not only we're really getting close to C3PO here, you guys. All right. Anyway, thank you, Barry, for sending us that great input. Again, if you guys see something out there that you think would inspire people, please send it to Sean and I. It is info@brainstorminabox.com. Is that it, Sean?
Just brainstorminabox@gmail.com.
Got it. Thank you. And we will put that in the chat. We will definitely do Dustin Bieber. It's hilarious. Okay. Tell us a little bit about this one, Sean.
Oh, well, have to imagine many, if not most of us, were all at least a little bit interested in job hunting over the last 12 to 16 months. Right?
Those of us who still work in corporate environments, maybe. We won't say any names, though.
Nope. Really interesting thinking about jobs of tomorrow. Wall Street Journal did an article of jobs for the city of tomorrow. So there's 5 that we're gonna hit upon. First one, a vertical gardener. So cities are expanding their greenery, right? Trying to bring more trees and plant life into cityscape for a lot of different reasons. But there's going to need to be someone to take care of all the greenery on the sides of buildings, on rooftops. There's also been the movement in gardening, right? Gardening, which might be a little different from this, but the farms, vertical farms that are being developed inside of a closed building environment.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to be a gardener for all this vertical greenscape, right?
Yeah, you combine passion with knowledge here, and you have yourself a new role, right?
That's it.
Super cool. Any other future jobs that they mentioned in the article?
Yeah. So cooling consultant, because everything is getting so hot, right? It's getting hot in here. So yeah, go with the song. But people are cranking up electricity use, right? Air conditioning, fans, problems with heat waves. So there's the movement of a consultant to come into your home, which is probably like an evolution of like Duke Energy can have someone come in and do an assessment of the efficiency of your home, drafty windows, but something now specific to, hey, here's things that you can do to help keep your home cooler.
Yeah.
All the way up to installing trees and greenery that might block the sun, so on and so forth.
I love it. I have to go back to the chat one more time here, Sean. Because we got some good. Caitlin says she wanted to be a bodega flower salesperson when she was little in New York, and maybe she can actually live that dream as a vertical gardener. Yes, you sure can now. Also, someone says Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother, is working on a city farming solution. Some really impressive stuff. So super awesome. They should do a new Castaway. Tom is stranded on an island in Nova Scotia. Wilson is a Roomba. Thank you, Mark. So awesome. I love it.
Castaway 2020.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Autonomous shuttle attendant. That's so cool.
Right. So really simple. Reading the article, actually, I thought was really interesting as the senior population grows and comfort or lack of comfort with autonomous vehicles. Right, having basically like the elevator attendants maybe from the 20s and the 40s, but someone that's just there, not driving it, but helping people.
Wow.
Right, adding a human touch. And then going back to the gas stations of the 50s, maybe?
Yeah.
A charging station valet. Right? I don't know. What's the future gas station going to look like when as cars continue to be electric? I don't know, but they're saying bring back someone that can help plug in your car. And
I definitely think we lost something when we lost the elevator attendant. I mean, how nice it is to greet someone in and just like, that's normally just the most boring ride, especially if you're in a really tall building in a big city, right? And having some nice person there to chit chat with you is just a lost art. Caitlin also says she wanted to be an elevator operator. That's great. What's old is new again. Thank you, Cheryl. That is correct. That is correct. All right, this one is so inspiring, Sean. Thank you for bringing this back. So if you guys remember, there was a big project back in 2010. It was a video directed by Kevin McDonald, and it was called Life in a Day. And it was thousands of people from all over the globe that picked up their cameras and shared their unique, authentic experiences in a way that only video could capture. It was a big hit back in 2010, millions and millions and millions of views. Now they have done a sequel called The Life in the Day 2020. It's directed by Kevin McDonald and produced by Ridley Scott. It's an opportunity to both understand a moment in time and explore the democratization of storytelling by the way of digital video continues to push the limits on the craft, culture, and connection. It's a couple of things I read about here. The 2011 Life in a Day series culled about 80,000 submissions from around the world, and this 2021 was 324,000 videos from contributors in 192 countries. It's primarily about people waking up, going about their chores, cooking their meals, interacting with family members, confiding in the camera about life and love, welcoming babies, attending weddings, paying their respects at funerals, worshiping their gods. It's really an amazing project. And Sean, I'm just going to ask you to add to it because I know you were really inspired by this too.
I thought was funny. It of course was reviewed right by movie reviewers and Hollywood reviewers, and some kind of poked fun at it and said it was expected and overly produced. I'm thinking, well, of course it was produced. They had 324,000 video submissions from 192 countries. I just, it kind of goes back to I didn't tie it together until now. It kind of goes back to just the emotions of humans, right?
Yeah.
And connecting with our emotions, just like the girl graduating from college and the pictures out in the field, just taking a snapshot of days in the lives of many people.
Yeah.
Right? A walk in their shoes, so to speak, and understanding how we all work.
Yeah, and to me, it reiterates Maya Angelou. We are more alike than we are different, right? It's just a stark reminder that that's the way it is. I would love to play this video, Sean, so I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to mute you. So remind me to unmute you. All right, here we go.
Wake up!
Kalau Sife sa fotoplaniti.
Estamos haciendo una película.
This is Lost first flight?
Sono felice perché è una bella giornata.
А чего ты боишься?
Çok şeyiz.
Ничего.
Болыққа білбекке ағын қалым ден.
What would you do if there was no longer me here?
We're working through this together, okay?
I've had two brothers, not one, but two brothers, die in police custody.
What would change your life in the future?
Getting better would change my life.
I want to have kids more than just about anything. I want them to grow up in a world that's kind. Why can't we change? Why can't we be kind?
İstinligen! Jaygaya qatan! Minsiz suluram!
So powerful. All right, I'm going to unmute you, Sean. There you go. So powerful, man. I can't wait to watch the whole thing. Is it already out, Sean, or does it come out on the 26th of July? Is that what it said?
Looks like 25th.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, no, sorry, that's 2020. Oh my gosh, so unprepared. I don't have the date that it launches. I thought it was already out.
Okay, good. We have to go make sure we check that out. Just a couple of, I just want to go back to the chat here because there's a couple of good chat comments. Candy says, in times of COVID, how inspiring people are starving for connection. Yes, we definitely are. How wonderful it would be to connect with a real person versus a celebrity on TikTok. I had to delete TikTok just for that reason because I was tired of those connections personally. The video, Mark says the video is just a reminder that how we communicate today, not on a studio level, but on a human level. Really, really great. Right. And then Cheryl says, how powerful to show so many different people in different places, reiterating that the core of what we really are is so much more and the same than we think. So super, super, super cool. All right, let's jump to the next thing great here. Go ahead, Sean.
I don't know if we can talk about this till Friday. We're gonna have to wait till next Thursday.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
Come on, Lee. Am I on mute? What?
No, you're not on mute. He's not on mute, right, guys? We're good. You can hear him, right?
So this is a new dating app that literally only functions on Thursdays.
First of all, I want to know how they randomly picked their like Thursday as a thing. Is that like when people are least likely to use dating apps or something like that? There had to have been Candy. There had to have been some research to show them that. I bet, right?
Maybe it has to do with like a lucky factor. Right?
Oh, almost a weekend. Caitlin says, "Yeah, that seems right." All right, Sean. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, so almost a weekend is totally right because one, they wanted to inspire people to, much like social media, not get so caught up on a daily basis of spending too much time into the dating app all week. Granted, I don't know how realistic this is, but they encourage users to try and block their Thursdays for dating. So I guess Thursdays is for love.
I guess so. Who knew?
They open up the app, they do their swiping, they actually encourage people to even set up dates on Thursday to be more time efficient if they can. But then you also have the weekend to try and to try and schedule a date. A lot of it was just trying to actually say, because there's more to life than dating apps. I love that they're making fun of themselves a bit.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. I mean, I have been married for 25 years. I can't imagine going into the dating pool.
Yeah, I had to do it for 3 years, Sean, and it sucked. Sorry. It was the worst.
Did you need more than 1 day weekly?
Carlos says Thekthi Thursdays. I like it. I like it a lot. And Caitlin brought up a good point. What about people that work in the hospitality industry? You know, they might be thinking of going out earlier. So maybe that's a need, Caitlin, that needs to be filled. So maybe we do the hospitality one. But Sean, you know what this reminds me of? I'm a huge Ready Player One fan, and of course, when I'm not going to spoil the movie or anything, but at the end, they ended up closing down the Oasis for 2 days a week. So I suggest, hey, why don't we just close down the internet for 2 days a week so people can get connected? How hard is that?
Absolutely.
What do you think would happen? That's just crazy. Close the whole internet down for 2 straight days a week. We have to actually get outside. Goodness gracious.
Wow, we have no more neck pain.
Yeah.
Looking down.
Okay, so Barbie is jumping on the eco bandwagon. The future of pink is green. So Barbie has a new line, kind of like recycled plastic surgery. I like that line, Sean. Barbie's Fashionista line features dolls in 22 different skin tones, 94 different hair colors, 13 eye colors, and 5 body types, as well as ones with wheelchairs and prosthetic legs. They're made of virgin plastic. The line of dolls is made of plastic that might have ended up in the ocean if it hadn't been recycled. The Barbies use recycled plastic flakes. Mattel is sourcing from a U.S.-based company called Envision Plastics, which is sourcing raw materials from local collection points on coastal regions of Mexico's Baja Peninsula in order to recover them before the stuff enters the ocean. It's part of a slow shift in the toy industry away from virgin plastic. Actually, Lego is actually, in other examples, is replacing their clear plastic bags with recycled paper. It's also working to develop bio-based bricks. Hasbro announced it would be phasing out plastic packaging by the end of the year. You know what that reminds me of, Sean? Like, what? It was like 8 years ago, they told me that the clamshell case was going away. And it's still there. You know those horrible clamshell cases you buy stuff in and you can never open your Christmas presents because they're in? Things still keep coming in clamshell cases. So what happened there?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, I hate those things, and they're always sharp.
Yeah, and you can't get hurt. Right? So it says Barbie Loves the Ocean is the brand's latest effort to position Barbie as a role model to show the next generation they can be anything. They must do our part in protecting the planet. So really cool move on Barbie. All right, any other thing you would add to that, Sean?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Barbie's rocking it.
In real life, not yours, the app.
Exactly. Actually, I was really impressed because I asked my 18-year-old daughter, I said, hey, Sid, do you have IRL? in real life?" She's like, "I don't know what that is." I went, "Yes, you don't know what it is."
You beat her to the punch.
So
does that make you cool? Are you cool now? Are you cool, Dad?
Well, probably not, because I had to explain it and think that I was cool for knowing it. But the original concept, actually, I think is pretty brilliant. So the founders, now this app is only 2 years old, all right, plus or minus 2 years old. It is up to 20 million active monthly users who are sending 100 million messages a day. Now, the primary purpose, it was not built as a, hey, here's another messaging app.
Yep.
It was created to be like a calendar / event / Calendly like app for teens. So here's all kinds of stuff that's happening for this age group and demographic. COVID obviously had an impact to it, but what they basically found is as people are talking about events and things that are happening, they're engaging in conversation. And I love the founder's pretty direct and pretty confident. He says, the new generation doesn't use Facebook events. No one is on Facebook.
Yeah. That's a tough gig, man. There's really no cross-platform to get, it's like when you go to plan a multi-generational event, it's a little bit frustrating to be able to do that because not everybody uses that same platform. Like you just said, no one really below our age is really using Facebook events for that reason. So that seems to be also a need to be able to create something that we can all use somehow, right?
Right.
Or cross-platform integration or whatever that may be. Interesting stuff.
Is it even as simple an idea of one app that has rooms, right?
Yeah,
because
nice.
then teens are in one spot and families are in another, but there's some way to link their messaging together in a single app when they want to, or to stay separate.
There's something out there. Developers, listen in. There's a need. Anytime there's a consumer need, that's a product waiting to be made. Okay, now Sean, just shh and listen. Actually, I'm going to make you talk about this since you posted it, but I'm so thankful that you found this because the principles here are so close to the principles that we use in creative problem solving, in design thinking. So please tell us about each one of these, and I will actually listen, and I will switch the slides as you talk about them.
Great. So the main premise of this article was about the importance of listening as a leader, right, and a leader of people. But as I read the article, there's 5 or 6 points that says, well, here's why to listen and how to do it and what the value is. And like you just said, Lee, it totally sums up. It's like a checklist for innovation, right? And working with teams.
It's a checklist for innovation and relationships, dude. I mean, when you look at these points, it's exactly what people need more of in their interpersonal relationships. So let's review the points. You ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. First one: give 100% of your attention, or do not listen.
I mean, commit to the moment, or don't commit. If you're not all the way in, then don't be there.
That's
right?
One of our rules in the sessions is be all in, and it's amazing. I've done a lot of digital work specifically in the past year, of course, and the level of excitement and retention of the content goes up when everybody's all in, and that was no more apparent than at our virtual wedding, mine and Sarah's. That the people who joined us who were like all in just got the most out of it, and that's, I cannot reiterate that enough, is not phoning it in when it comes to being on digital, because it's hard enough to pretend like we're in real life on digital and on virtual stuff, but just giving 100% of your attention. And I know it's difficult, and I realize there's so many other distractions, but man, it sure does make a difference.
It's a simple principle, man, and it comes down to an individual's confidence and courage, right?
Yep.
Commit to just being all the way in a situation. Yep.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Whoa! Sorry, guys. Dad joke. Yeah, do not interrupt. This is the yes or, Sean. Come on.
So one of the worst things that you can do, right, if you're in a group of people and you're looking for a solution or brainstorming an idea, is to not let people share their ideas, cut them off, right? Once you do that, then, I mean, you know how you feel if you're in a meeting somewhere and they jump in front of you. It's like, just let me finish, let me get my idea out.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt people, because then they may not have the perfect idea, but depending on what they say, it could inspire someone else to continue to develop an idea or opportunity.
Yeah, I actually personally find this really difficult because I have mild untreated ADD. And so I feel like I have to get my idea out because otherwise I will forget it later. And this is a constant back and forth between me and Sarah because she'll want me to listen to everything she says. And I'm like, wait, I have something. Don't let me forget it. And it drives her crazy. But yeah, I'm totally guilty of this. And I can remember in my last corporate job, a lot of people doing this in meetings, and it was definitely frustrating. Okay, so the next one is do not judge or evaluate. This is also a really difficult thing when it comes to listening, is shutting off that judgment and kind of turning off that look, because a lot of times our facial expressions and our body language speaks volumes when we're doing this. So this is to me, it's just, let's not try to evaluate until you hear the full story, right, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's as simple as building upon everyone's thoughts in a room, right? Not everyone is going to come out with the silver bullet or a perfect idea, but everyone sparks everyone else's thoughts and process. Yeah.
Yeah, Juliet says in the chat, one of my bosses used to cross his fingers as a reminder to himself to hold an idea while someone speaks. She does this now too. That's awesome. I actually have to wear. I have a special bracelet that my sister-in-law gave me that I wear to make sure I stop after each thing so somebody has a chance to respond. So good tools, Juliet. All right, Sean. Awesome. Next one. Don't impose your solutions. That's.
I think we just said that, right?
Yeah. Also, really hard not to do, right? Because we really want to help the person, so you want to impose the solutions. But a lot of times, you just have to listen and ask questions and have them drive to solutions themselves. That's probably, if you were a therapist, for those who go to therapists, that's exactly what a therapist does too. Is they ask a lot of questions to get you to solve your own problems in your own head, right? So yeah, really simple stuff. And there he goes, leading to ask more good questions.
Yes.
Listeners shape conversations by asking questions to benefit the speaker. Yes, I can't stress this enough, especially when you're ideating, man. Asking questions is more stimulus for more good ideas, right, Sean? And that's what we ask people to ask, those provocative questions. And that's why we have what I call party hosts that are the leaders of like a group of 4 to make sure that they keep asking those questions. Actually, Candy's out in the audience. Candy's one of the best party hosts ever. She's been in a couple of my sessions the last couple of times. Amazing. And that's what she does. She just keeps asking questions so that the folks that we're brainstorming with can come out with the answers. So super cool.
And Lee, this is really, this is probably one of the biggest initial strategies, right, in design thinking. It's not about asking questions. I mean, it is about asking questions, but before you even do anything, it's about figuring out, well, what is the right question that we need to ask and then solve for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Sarah from DC says, as a life coach, she always reminds herself that her clients are completely capable and competent humans who have answers within. Really great. Yep. All right, that's a great article, Sean. Thank you so much for finding that one. So this one goes out to all of my travel friends out there. This is a vacation from your hell. I love that. This is a travel startup uses mindful adventures as a remedy for work-induced burnout. Short for Recalibrate. It's called Recall Travel, which kind of cracks me up because it's like Total Recall a little bit, you know. Offers adventure travel for people suffering from work-induced stress and burnout. The company launched last week and organizes highly active trips aiming at helping participants shed stress and renew energy. I bet if we talked to Shannon Stoll from the Adventure Travel Trade Association, he would no doubt back up the fact that this is a trend in travel. A little bit more more deliberate based, and it's based on hiking, biking, paddling trips that founder Anthony Laborio took in January after years of long hours and work stress had started to take their toll. Rigorous physical activity. He says, don't expect lazy river afternoons. But what the cool thing I like about the article, Sean, is that they work with independent outfitters for guided trips ranging in price from $725 to $1950 US, including mountain biking in the Grand Canyon's North Rim and high water rafting in Idaho's Middle Fork Salmon River. So again, thinking about travel in a new and different way, a lot of people going for a little bit more intimate travel and more deliberate travel. So this seems like, again, if you ask my buddy Shannon, he would probably tell you the same thing.
Yep, and a good friend of ours, Lee, formerly Miss Sarah Fox, Sarah McDonald. She literally is on a trip like this right now. She's been posting to Facebook, which maybe that ruins a little bit of the scenario, but yeah. She was, a couple days ago, she was on a 2 or 3 hour horseback ride up into a mountain where they did an hour of yoga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the chat real quick with this, Sean, because Caitlin, this is totally you. This is definitely marketed to you. Caitlin is definitely an adventure travel person. And Candy, if you had an opportunity to travel with Caitlin, I say go, because she goes to some really awesome locations. But yeah, this is really good stuff and interesting and interesting in how you think about your vacation. So thank you guys for that great input there.
It's cool.
All right, now we just mix that with the AI. You would have Total Recall. All right, tell us about a Prime haircut.
Well, I can't tell anyone about that, but I can only describe the article since I cut my hair in my bathroom every Saturday.
Sorry. Yeah, this is interesting. You put this in here, Sean. Sorry, I didn't even make a joke about it. My bad. You expected me to. I appreciate the fact that you made that offer and I didn't accept it. I apologize.
I threw you a softball, man. You didn't even.
I know, totally. Woo! Right over my head. My almost going bald head, by the way, that you can't see because I'm tall. See, no one will notice, Sean. Right?
That's right. All right. So this whole salon hair care thing, Amazon is opening a 1,500 square foot test location in East London. So they are going to be utilizing technology in a certain way where I love how it says people can basically give a demo on their hair in various colors. Quote, they can preview a pink do before fully committing. That's pretty smart.
Wow.
But,
it's like digital. It's like digitally, like on the screen. Oh yeah, I see. Cool. Yeah.
Right. Which I mean, you could certainly do with a lot of AR apps now, right? But the engagement in the brick and mortar, which Amazon continues to expand in, because they're testing technology. So they're basically kind of taking pop-up shops, right, from 10 or so years ago, 10, 15 years ago, but they're actually doing it a bit more of a formal way and creating these longer-term experiences because they're testing tech.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Amazon is making me a little bit nervous of all the things they're getting into, though. I can't lie. Well, I mean, it just reminds me of Wall-E and By and Large. You know, it's like, what? They're becoming the By and Large pretty soon.
It totally is.
Or for those of you Loki fans, the Rocks cart. Hello. Woo. That's a variant of that. No pun intended. Sorry, I had to make an Avengers joke. Go ahead, Sean.
There's one quick stat, which is interesting. As of October, 1% of U.S. adults had tapped AR to help make a purchase. 1%.
Wow.
I have to imagine, I mean, this is just going to grow exponentially each year because, I mean, even if our shopping patterns have gone to shopping online, right, versus going into a brick and mortar store, well, how is trying it on or quote unquote, or testing it somehow at home through an AR app going to just increase that?
Yeah.
So interesting. Yep.
All right. Next up. Now, I love the fact that you put this in the report. A couple things. back in probably the mid 2010s, I decided to go all of April one time and ride the bus. And if you're familiar with public transportation in Orlando, it's not the best, right? But I just happened to have a bus route that went from a nearby location in Claremont all the way down 192 to my office in Celebration. All fine and dandy. The morning bus was great. The afternoon bus, however, hardly ever showed up on time. And usually it wasn't just like late, it was like an hour and a half. So here I am sitting on the side of 192 waving at all my business friends as they pass by, half of them offering to offer me a ride because they're so nice, right? So looking at this is just a wonderful mix of things. So this is called the Routing Company, and they are basically launching a pilot program to change a portion of the Bainbridge Islands bus system, which is in Seattle, island near Seattle, to an app-based on-demand ride-sharing service that will allow people to call the bus right to their front door. So the article goes on to say ride-sharing, and it's like the Uber, what is it called? The Uber pool. Sorry. The Uber pool sharing doesn't work as efficiently when there's only room for 3 people in a Prius. You know what I'm saying? But he says that the price for a potential rider is willing to pay for a rideshare doesn't work in that 4-seater phenomenon, but it does work in a 14-seater van. The math doesn't work on a smaller scale, basically, is what he said. So the broader idea is to develop a system that leaves regular mass transit to primary routes, but moves to smaller routes based on-demand. It seems like a much more efficient way to do things, too. And probably with a little test and adjust, you can probably find out and reroute the actual routes that way, too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, removes traffic, potentially, right? Removes cars off the road. If the experience can be, like you said, you tried the bus system in Orlando and it wasn't great. But if there's some way to enhance the experience, maybe you blend this, even though there is a driver. Well, why not have a bumped up experience with strong Wi-Fi? Is there an attendant on there? Maybe you can get beverages like on an airplane. Like, how could you put all these different things together?
Yeah. Again, it seems like there's a lot of needs to fill there, Sean.
I think it's brilliant.
I'm gonna go back to the chat real quick here. Juliet says 3 buses and 2 hours from Livingston in downtown to Celebration. Isn't that the truth? It's just the worst. Lauren says in LA she would get dropped off at her house from LAX for $9 via a $40 Lyft. That was 10 years ago with 14 seaters. Mark says, how about a huge bus with executive micro offices? Yes, and strong Wi-Fi. I love it. Love it a lot. Thank you for putting this one in, Sean. Super, super inspiring. Sure. There's just some industries that are just ripe for innovation, and public transportation is definitely one of them. And I want to see it go places. So this is a good sign. I love it. Love seeing it. Okay, you guys. Sean, I think you should tell us about this because I can't wait to show this video. These guys are serious about their nerfs, man.
Maybe we preface it this way. I think you said it when we were practicing yesterday. There is an industry for everything.
Yeah.
Right? There is an industry for everything. And the fact that this guy who is really good on camera, by the way, he is making $100,000 plus salary, paying people in a workspace $20 an hour salary to upgrade and customize Nerf guns.
Who knew? I mean, right? There's a market for everything, literally.
And they're not cheaply. It's like one of the packages for maybe it might be one of the like the Nerf rifle there that's in the center. The total cost for the gun and then tricking it out was like $365 for a Nerf gun.
Wow. But I mean, you're serious about your Nerf guns. You're serious. And also, if this guy's credible, you want to buy from the guy who's the most credible, right?
Right. But I mean, think there's a whole social community and cottage industry just around this thing. And how many ideas have we all had, or even on a grander scale with in a professional company or business, we're like, well, I don't think there's an audience for that. No, there probably is.
Yeah, really. My buddy John was talking about his boys have modded several Nerf guns. In one case, it added over 20 feet to the distance and increased the sting from the dart. A safer way to paintball, because the paintball is quite the sting, Sean. I don't know if you ever paintball before, but it hurts and it leaves bruises.
Paintball is brutal.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to show this video. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to cut to about 45 seconds in if I can do it. And Sean, I'm going to have to mute you again. Sorry. So here we go.
Hi, fellow Nerfers. It's Out of Darts. Today I have a new upgrade for my Zeus rival. This is the Zeus MXV 10800. Now, I'm already kind of sick of your entire loadout that you're allowed to bring in any given round. On a side note, this same Zeus with a 3S LiPo has now had about 4,000 rounds shot through it, and I haven't had a single problem with the motors burning out or anything like that, so I can really say that a 3S 11.1 volt LiPo doesn't seem to do anything to the stock motors, and they can really handle it, which is awesome for all the modding community. The overall design has not changed dramatically, but I have done a few subtle changes. Obviously, you can see there's two more tubes, which has almost doubled the ammo capacity. I also had to add a voltage boost circuit inside, and right now I'm running this fan at about 17 volts. I can't speak to the reliability of the blower running at this voltage yet, but it doesn't seem to be working too hard, so I think it should be fine. Either way, it's only a $5 blower, so it's not a big deal if I have to replace it because I burn it out. It feeds just as smoothly as before, and it works really well. As the previous design, I can still shoot at any angle I need to, and the overall weight hasn't increased much either. Additionally, I have lowered the profile of the tubes so they sit closer to the body, and this really helps with the overall weight and feel of the blaster and the balance when you're playing with it. There is still tons of room for improvement with the blaster, and hopefully I can get my hands on a 3D printer and work on printing some of the components with that so I can make them a little more custom. And now for a quick firing demo.
My God, that's so awesome. I have to get one.
Next week, I'll be demoing a selectable 3-shot burst in this design. It'll help conserve with ammo and let you have options when you're out in the playing field. If you watch closely in some of my videos, you may have already seen the mechanics on how that's going to work. Thanks for watching. I'm Out of Darts. I'll see you next week.
I love the fact that he calls himself Out of Darts, because he's never going to be out of darts. 108 for crying out loud.
Well, if he shoots them that quick, he will be, but man.
Anthony, you definitely need this, yes. See, again, I think, number one, this is so much creativity just to modify something, and it's all in good fun also, right? We don't want to hurt anybody here. We're just having a little bit of fun with some Nerf. So just making that combination. But it also, to me, it kind of speaks, like you said, Sean, to there is a market out there for people who don't like stock stuff, right? So I like starting with the stock stuff, but I'm going to modify it. My brother from another mother, Derek, super great guy. I call Derek a master builder because Derek doesn't see things like we do. So he'll look at the side of a car door, and he doesn't see the car door. He sees all the individual parts that go into that car door. And anything that he gets, he modifies. Like, there's not one thing in his house that's like stock. His blender, his refrigerator, whatever, he's made some modification to it to advance it or something like that. So to me, manufacturers and makers of products like this should really consider, those people that are going to do that, right? And make it easier for them. Sean, it reminds me of the Dell, when Dell first came out, they made it so hard to upgrade their computers because they wanted people to buy them for it, which seems like such a backwards philosophy, because you would want to make it, if people want to do it, just support, if it's happening organically, you want to support it seems like, right? Sell them the parts, but support it so they can upgrade it themselves.
It's a little bit of the difference between Apple and Android, right?
Right.
I mean, Android's open source and people can customize, and Apple's...
Yes. Spoken from an iPhone user. Thank you, Sean.
Don't take my iPhone, man.
No worries. All right. Well, that just wraps it up, you guys. I'm going to go bring us back to our normal page here. We really, really appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for supporting us. We're going to show a slide that'll have our link tree on it. We definitely want you to, if you're on my Twitch channel here, please follow if you haven't already followed. You can subscribe for free using your Amazon Prime account, so please do that as well. We will be back. Well, what's the date? We'll be back, Sean. August 6th.
We had the
August 6th. We'll be back to the first Friday, and we appreciate you guys letting us take the holiday week off last week. So thank you for that, and we appreciate all of your comments in the chats. And thank you for coming out, Sean. Any other words of wisdom or inspiration to leave us with?
More words of selfish plug that don't forget Lee and I are for hire.
Yes, we are. We can help solve some business problems. So just let us know. And until August 6th, we will see you guys. You can join us for the DJ party tonight too, 9 p.m. on this same Twitch channel. If you want a little bit of fresh input, going to play a lot of different genres tonight. So join in and let's have some fun. Until then, Sean, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great weekend. And we will catch you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.